Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Augustus, and I'm here again with another episode of Tsukihime. When we last left off, our main character had gone back home for the first time in 8 years, and he proceeded to meet someone that was probably his sister, who is probably very upset with us, or at least that's what he thinks. Now, let's get on with it. It's been a long time, Nissan, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Arcueid that I had not seen in 8 years is not the Arcueid that I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan, the black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults as I try to recognize the girl before me as Arcueid, but it sounds like Arcueid already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Arcueid throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? Probably not. No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Arcueid. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan. We are at an age of change, or do you think we would remain as we were forever? What is this? I can feel the thorns in Arcueid's words. No, you've definitely changed, Arcueid. That's what you just said. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. And, indeed, but you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Arcueid answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I had thought. It seems Arcueid does not think well of me. If you are feeling well, let us continue our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you were called back here, Nissan. I've heard nothing more than a sudden come back to the mansion, though I found out the old man passed away in the papers. If the head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it in the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reaches his own son, Tono Shiki, via the newspaper after the funeral, which must feel horrific. Even though his relatives hadn't told him, this disinherited son could pick up news of his father's death merely by buying a 100 yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world has certainly become a convenient place. I'm sorry. It was my fault that you did not get the news about father. Arcueid quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like he would come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about. I'm sorry. It is somewhat comforting to hear you say that. I've said kind of similar things to family before. I'm not the sentimental kind of person that likes to go to funerals. I like to grieve in my own way. Nonetheless, let's continue on. Arcueid's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let go of their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off those such feelings a long time ago, there is no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tonos to be entrusted to the Arimas forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tonos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That is why I had come back here. I had you come back here. I apologize, I'm making so many errors. I've been drinking wine for the past hour. Not that you really care. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who came up with the idea of me leaving with the Arimas in the first place? That may be so, but now I am the head of the Tono family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan, but this is a place with rules. You will avoid living the overly casual lifestyle you've been leading up until now. I'm afraid that isn't going to happen, Akiya. There's no way I can go back to being some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask more of you, but do try to, or are you saying you are unable to do what I already have? And there it is. Akiya shoots me a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her here these last 8 years. Alright. I get it. I'll try my best. Akiya just stares at me as if she doesn't quite believe me. And I don't believe him either, so she's not alone there. You do not need to try as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's go back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Well, other than the 2 maids that we've seen, but I guess they don't count. Hold on a second, Akiya. You've cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I have put off most of the servants, but there are enough for you and I, so there are no problems. Wait, no problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed with just the 2 of us here? Well, it's true that I would feel relaxed, but you've only just become the head of the family, Akiya. If you go around abusing your powers like some kind of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why Father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I am not going to put up with their whims any longer. Not going to put up with... Look, Akiya. Enough. Just listen. You don't have to worry about me. Please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways. Akiya says suddenly, looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her. Hisui. This might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I don't care too much because you know who this route's about. She is one of the routes, the next to last route, and my favorite route. The last maid that we saw, Kohaku, has my favorite ending. Well, no, that's actually not true. She's my favorite character. Her route is probably close to tied with Hisui about personal favorite. But I do prefer Hisui's a little bit more overall. It's also a little bit longer. And Hisui, one of her endings, is my favorite one in the game. I'll let you guys kind of figure that out when we eventually get there. So instead, for right now, I'll just play Koi and try to stop sidebarring so much, but I promise nothing. The girl called Hisui bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She will be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable? Hold on. Personal maid? You mean, in other words, she's your servant? Akiya declares it as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the Western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there, as if it is natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself, Would that include the cooking and the laundry? Well, Hisui doesn't cook, for one. We find that out later. I guess she does do Shiki's laundry, actually. So she does half of that. Aki is pretty sharp at pointing these things out. It also feels weird that he's not doing his own laundry, but that might just be myself, because I've been doing my laundry since I was like 9 or 10, basically old enough to reach into a washing machine and a dryer, but I digress. At any rate, now that you've returned to the house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived at the Arima's house, but you're living at the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you. I can't say anything, and I drift my eyes towards Hisui. As expected, she simply looks back at me expressionlessly, like a doll. Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room. Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches with a shadow-like lack of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like the body of a bird whose wings are the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan. Your room is this way, Shiki-sama. Hisui climbs up the flight of stairs. It seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servants' rooms should be on the first floor of the east wing, so that's probably where Kohaku and Hisui-san's rooms are. Outside, the sun has already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out. Did you say something, Shiki-sama? Hisui stops and looks back at me. I need to figure out a good voice or at least tone to do for her. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. I need to do something kind of motionless, blank for her, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. The room Hisui led me to is not one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room? Yes. If you are displeased with it, I can arrange for a different one for you. No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little, really too fancy for me. Shiki-sama, it's fine. I'll gladly use this room. Yes, this room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you will find anything unsatisfactory with it. There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. I agree, that did not come out as a completely 100% correct English sentence, but what the hell do I know? It's as if she was implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by chance my old room? That is what I have been told. Am I mistaken? Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. Well, it might be now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so it must be. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. 8 years. I can't get settled here though. I was living in a 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel. I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama. Right. I gotta do my best, so I at least look like it on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bag on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I've got no choice but to adjust from today onwards. Shiki-sama, all your baggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require? No, not really. Why do you ask? There was very little delivered. If there is anything you need, I can have it prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask. You see, no, I don't need anything here more for now. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. That's all, and Chekhov's gun at that. Anyway, you don't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me. I understand. Well then, I shall come to call you in an hour's time. An hour? For dinner, you mean? Yes. Please relax until then. As expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, just how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of trivial thing to ask, but is there a television in this mansion? A television? Hisui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but it really is a stupid question. I mean, maybe for the time period. I think this takes place in like 98 or 99, maybe 2000, somewhere around the time the game came out. I feel like there's something wrong about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like that. Hisui makes a rare, troubled face and stares off into space. There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they departed, they packed it up with their luggage and took it with them, so I do not believe there are any remaining. Hold on. Visitors? Like who? For how long? Relatives. The eldest son of the Kugamine branch of the family. Tozaki-sama's third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama's eldest son came to stay here for close to 3 years. That's not really visitors, but 3 years, huh? Hisui, that's what you call freeloaders, not visitors. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Hisui does not reply. No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants cannot say a bad thing about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like these relatives had brought, and taken back, their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he would ever watch a TV. Akiya, who had been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Could try asking. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui is silent. Like a perfect example for servants, Hisui says nothing unless she is being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any half-hearted effort. And man, I cannot wait until we get to her room. Oh, there was a library on the first floor of the West Wing, right? Maybe I'll go find something there to read when I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands there in the doorway. I can't even begin to tell what she's thinking. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there's one in Nesan's room. Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about, and you're an idiot. There's one of what? A television. I remember seeing one in Nesan's room. Hisui says, as if remembering something from many years ago, and apparently Shiki can't follow conversations and gets lost in his own mind all the time. Hold on. Nesan? Don't tell me you're talking about Kohaku-san. That kind of bothers me as well. They look almost exactly the same. That is mentioned in both of their routes multiple times. Yes, right now, the only person working at this mansion are Nesan and I. Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku's son is always smiling so warmly, and Hisui is always expressionless. Sorry about that, I just bumped my mic. Hopefully it was not very loud. You see, Kohaku-san does look like the type of person to watch those variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch your TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I've got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'd be in for from Akiha if I started watching television. It seems I'll be leading a scholarly student life fit for a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright, I'll be in my room until dinner, so just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to finish today's episode. Shiki's having dinner, about to have dinner with Akiha, Hisui, and Kohaku for the first time in the mansion in, as has been mentioned multiple times, 8 years. What will become of this dinner? What will happen after dinner? Find the answer to that question and more next time. I hope to see you there.